All right, if we can go ahead and call the meeting to order. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom? Here. Ms. Lehman?
Here.
Ms. Lewis? Here. Mr. Nally?
Here.
Mr. Price?
Here. Can I get a motion to approve our minutes from our regular meeting held on January 22nd, 2024, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom? Yes. Ms. Lehman?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes, motion's approved. We're going to skip, because we're honoring students tonight, we're going to skip a couple pieces and come back to them later in the agenda if you're following on our papers. So we're going to move on to the superintendent's report so we can get right into honoring our students tonight.
Thank you very much, Mr. Price. It's a very special evening. Ladies and gentlemen, students, parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, this is a very special night. We call these students stellar students. And we call them stellar because these are the top students in their classes. And it used to be called Student of the Month, and we used to honor a Student of the Month. This is not Student of the Month. This is the stellar student. We don't do this every month. We do it once for the year. So your child has been recognized by their teacher as that student. This is an opportunity for you to swell up with pride. I'm talking to you parents right now. This is the real thing. I was looking at some of the certificates this evening before I came up here, and I saw some of these kind of words: kindness, humbleness, hardworking, good helper, loves to spend time with family, is a good citizen, takes pride in their work, and is a good role model for their fellow students. You're going to hear all those things about your children today, and it's true. And as an educator, I can tell you, your students are the ones that make this job so satisfying. And before we get started, I'd like to maybe introduce all of our staff who have come to honor those students as well. Could I have any of the principals first that are here? Would you please stand so we can see where you are? There they are. Thank you very much for all you do. And for all the teachers who have the privilege of having these students in class, would you stand, please? All right. I'm going to take this show on the road. What we're going to do is bring a group down, one grade level at a time, and we'll have you line up over here all at once, okay? So we'll start with first grade because they're our bravest, right? So I'll have all my first graders in a moment. You'll come up here and stand. When we call your name, we're going to have you walk over here and receive your certificate and your trophy, and then shake your hand like this. Thank you very much. And then you'll walk back over here and stand with your classmates or your first grade other classmates, okay? All right. Now, parents, this is photograph time. If there's ever been a photograph time, this is it. So I encourage you to do whatever you need to do. Come up here, get a picture when they're taking it, but we're also going to pose kids over here afterwards with the whole group so you can get real quick. We're going to take our time and do this right. So they'll be here. We can take their picture, whatever you need to do, okay? Then when we're all done, we'll do second grade, okay? We'll take our time and enjoy ourselves. All right, first graders, if you were nominated, please come on down. While they're coming, let me explain a little bit about Learning and Liberty. The Learning and Liberty Foundation was founded about 40 years ago to help support academics in school. We do honors like this. We do teacher scholarships for special teacher programs that they want to do. It's just a way for, it's a foundation that the school started to help support these kind of events. Ms. Lori Bloom is the board member who represents the school board as our Learning and Liberty representative. All right, do we have our first graders? All right. Ms. Hurd, are you ready?
I am ready.
Who's our first student?
All right. Joining me this evening will also be Anaya Bulger, who is actually one of our student members of Learning and Liberty. And just a little shout out in announcing all of these names and providing all of this wonderful information. Anaya Bulger is a former second grade Stellar Student winner in 2013, who has greatly matured and grown into a beautiful senior at Ross High School and is finishing up her academic career, moving on to wonderful things after graduation. So it's wonderful to have her back now serving as a student leader on our Learning and Liberty Foundation. So thank you for joining us tonight, Anaya. All right, our first student is Farah Grine. Is Farah here? All right. I will just keep right on going here. We have Zoe Coleman. Zoe is the daughter of Jarrett and Kristen Coleman. She's a first grade student in Mrs. Julie Yoder's class. Zoe enjoys playing baseball in the summer, and she also likes to draw pictures and play with her little sister. Zoe was chosen as a stellar student because she is a bright and expressive young lady. She has a love for school, which is shown by her work each day as it is done with effort and care. Zoe is a great friend to her classmates and everyone at Atkinson Elementary. Mrs. Yoder feels Zoe truly deserves this honor because she is an excellent first grader. Zoe says, "What I like about school is iReady. I like doing reading because I get to read fun stories and show what I know." Congratulations and thank you, Zoe. Next up, we have Amara Dalton. Amara is the daughter of Brittany Billiard and Jaleel Dalton. She's a first grader in Mrs. Lynn Schrader's class. Amara likes playing at the park and also playing video games. She has tried playing baseball and she enjoys that as well. Amara wants to be a doctor when she grows up. She was chosen as a stellar student because she is a hardworking first grader. Not everything comes easily the first time she tries it, but she keeps working and she's asking questions. She's a very caring young lady. Amara cares about her siblings as well as her classmates, and she wants everyone to be happy. Amara always does her best with no complaints. Amara says, "It is important to learn all you can to become smart. You need to be smart to do your job when you grow up." Congratulations and thank you, Amara. From Croghan Elementary, we have Adley Mackey. Adley's the daughter of Ashley and Jordan Mackey. She's a first grade student in Mrs. Chauvel's class. Adley's favorite thing is hanging out with her mom. She also loves volleyball and basketball, and playing with her friends is another thing that she enjoys. Adley was chosen as a stellar student because she is a very hard worker. She always shows up to school with a smile and ready to help others. Adley's personal words of be kind and be happy. Congratulations and thank you, Adley. William Swain. Will is the son of Kelly Schultz and Joseph Swain and is a first grade student in Miss Erica Rudd's class. He likes dinosaurs and reading books that teach him new things. He likes to get home from school, grab a snack, and watch TV to relax. At home, he plays with his sister and wants to be a firefighter when he grows up. Will was chosen as a stellar student because he is very respectful. He works well with his classmates, and he is kind to everyone. Will always tries his best and works hard in class. He asks questions and is very interested in learning. His teacher is very proud of Will. Will says, "I love school. It is fun." Congratulations. Thank you, Will. Next up, we have Carter Axe. Carter is the son of Kelly and Scott Axe, is a first grade student in Mrs. Lori Nossman's class. Carter is a sports fanatic. He loves playing football and basketball, and he cheers for the Minnesota Vikings and his favorite football player, Justin Jefferson. Carter also loves to draw and color pictures. In the classroom, he enjoys STEM activities, playing learning games on the Chromebook, and building with blocks and Legos. Carter also enjoys playing with his friends at recess. Carter was chosen as a stellar student because he is an amazing first grader who not only is excelling in all academic subjects areas, but he is a great role model for his peers. He is genuinely kind to staff members and his classmates in his school community. Mrs. Nossman feels Carter is truly a delight, and she enjoys having him in class. He does quite well with his schoolwork, and he's a very good listener. Carter follows directions and pays attention in the classroom. He constantly strives to do his best. Carter sets high expectations for himself, and he works hard to achieve them. His enthusiasm and perseverance are appreciated by all. Carter is truly a top-quality first grader, says Mrs. Nossman. Carter says, "In first grade, I loved to play learning games on the Chromebook and the short vowel fidget poppet game 1. My favorite subject is math because I like to add and subtract. School makes me so happy." Congratulations and thank you, Carter. From Lutz, we have a Carla McLaurin. Akara? All right. Akara comes to us from Miss Merrill's classroom at Lutz Elementary. But moving on at Lutz, we have Lucy Kensler. Lucy is the daughter of Josh and Pam Kensler. She's a first grade student in Amby Reynolds' class. Lucy takes karate lessons and plays basketball. She likes to do crafts if she's feeling bored. Lucy likes to play video games with her dad, and her favorite part about school is doing iReady and extra math on the computer. She also really likes reading. When Lucy grows up, she wants to be a doctor and the President of the United States. Lucy was chosen as a stellar student because she has a great work ethic in her classroom. Lucy is eager to learn new things and doesn't give up if things are difficult. She is willing to answer questions and participate in classroom discussions. Lucy never misses an opportunity to help her classmates or to help her teacher. Lucy is always following the rules and is an amazing role model for her class. Mrs. Reynolds feels Lucy is very deserving of this award and truly feels blessed to have Lucy in her classroom. Lucy says, "School is very important because you need to learn a lot. You need to know your math. You also need to know about red words and how to spell them correctly. And if they're tricky, you just ask an adult. As soon as you are older, you will know so many things." Congratulations and thank you, Lucy. All right, let's go back and hear about Akara McLaurin. Akara is the daughter of Jamie Thomas and Mike McLaurin and is a first grader in Miss Merrill's class. Akara enjoys playing Roblox and playing with her cousins, and she also has fun helping her mom bake cupcakes. She was chosen as a stellar student because she always gives her best effort in everything she does. She believes in herself and never gives up. Akara is also very kind, treating her classmates and teachers with respect. She is a positive role model in her class. Her personal quote is, "You got this." Congratulations, and thank you, Akara. All right, next we have Lila Balkovic. Lila is the daughter of Brian and Christy Balkovic, is a first grade student in Mrs. Castilla's class. Lila is in jazz dance class, and she is in acrobats. She's really proud that she can do a handstand to a back bend. Lila says she will also start soccer soon. She also likes to play with her potion slime and play on her tablet. Lila was chosen as a stellar student because she is constantly showing respect for both her peers and her teachers. She is a kind and considerate student. She has a positive attitude, and she listens well and always does her best work. It is clear that she loves school. Mrs. Castilla feels there are no doubts that she can accomplish anything she puts her mind to. Lila says, always be good and nice. Congratulations, and thank you, Lila. All right, from Otis Elementary, first grade, we have Gavin White. Gavin is the son of Shanna and Cody White and is a first grade student in Mrs. Freeman's class. Gavin enjoys playing with his friends at recess and spending time with his family. He likes to play bingo and board games. He also enjoys playing video games and soccer. Gavin was chosen as a stellar student because of his kind heart and positive attitude. Gavin goes above and beyond to help out in any way that he can and always has a smile on his face. He is very hardworking, which has reflected through the growth and progress that he has made so far this year. Gavin stated, "You need to listen and pay attention to learn at school." Congratulations, and thank you, Gavin. Santiago Gonzalez. Santiago is the son of Alejandra Benitez, and Juan Gonzalez, and is a first grade student in Miranda Wamas's class. Santiago loves dancing and playing Mario on his Nintendo. His favorite character is Toad. Santiago was chosen as a stellar student because he is extremely hard worker and is positive influence on his peers. He has worked super hard to really improve his reading. His teacher feels he is a true joy to have in class. Santiago said his favorite thing about school is playing outside with his friends and using the gold bins. Congratulations, and thank you, Santiago. And our last student is Brielle Johnson. Okay, then those are our first grade stellar students. What do you
second graders. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, give me
Hunter Thompson.
Hunter.
Hunter Thompson. Is the daughter of Amanda Likens and Blake Thompson, and she is a second grade student in Stacy Gilbert's class. Hunter enjoys cheerleading and playing with her brothers as well as her pets. She likes to go for runs and to do arts and crafts. Hunter was chosen as a stellar student because she always puts forth her best effort. She doesn't give up even when the work is hard or overwhelming. Hunter always has a smile on her face and is nice as well as kind to others. She is a great role model for her classmates. Hunter said, "I enjoy playing with my friends and learning new things. Congratulations and thank you, Hunter." Angel Basilio. Amina Brown. Is the daughter of Amber Filon, and she is a second grade student in Miss Art's class. Amina enjoys singing, writing, and drawing. She likes to play basketball and soccer. Amina was chosen as a stellar student because she models great class and school expectations. She is kind to peers and teachers. Amina is always willing to help someone in class and include others in all activities. She sets a positive example for others and is a role model in her class. Amina said, "My favorite thing about school is math and reading. I like anything that helps me learn." Congratulations and thank you, Amina. Next, we have the Krogan Stellars of students. Nicolette Connor. Is a daughter of Jessica Drenning and Mark O'Connor, and she is a second grade student in Kelly Axe's class. Nicolette likes to play on her tablet. She also enjoys spending time playing Uno. When Nicolette is at school, she enjoys poetry and writing. Nicolette was chosen as a stellar student because she is respectful of her classmates and teachers. In class, Nicolette is a leader and always displays a positive attitude. She is very helpful to others and strives to do her best on all of her work. Nicolette said, "Always do your best." Congratulations and thank you to Nicolette. Reese Reyes. Reese Reyes. Zoe Refner. Is the daughter of Jessica and Zachary Refner, and she is a second grade student in Amanda Stein's class. Zoe enjoys reading. Her favorite books are Owl Diaries. She also loves to draw. Zoe's favorite subject is math. She says she enjoys learning to count coins in math. Zoe was chosen as a stellar student because she is a role model for others. She is a hard worker and always gives 100%. Zoe is kind and makes sure everyone is included. Zoe said, "If I notice someone struggling, I would tell them I believe in them and they can do anything. Congratulations and thank you, Zoe." We then have the stellar students of Lutz. Annabelle Garza. Is the daughter of Leslie Harris and Jose Vasquez, and she is a second grade student in Mrs. Olson's class. Annabelle enjoys watching TV, playing with stuffed animals, spending time with friends, and having sleepovers with Evelyn. She also likes playing with her little sister Layla and making new friends. Annabelle was chosen as a stellar student because since the first day of school, she has shown her teacher that she is a kind-hearted young lady. Annabelle is hardworking and genuine. She always puts forth her best effort in and outside of the classroom. Annabelle shows kindness to everyone. Mrs. Olson feels very lucky to know and teach Annabelle. Annabelle said, "Make sure everyone believes in what they want and that no one gets hurt by anybody else. Congratulations and thank you, Annabelle. Kyra Eiler. Is the daughter of Angela and John Maziars and Butch Eiler, and she is a second grade student in Mrs. Marquith's class. Kyra enjoys coloring and drawing. She also likes to play with her little sister, Kailana. Kyra was chosen as a stellar student because she is smart, kind, and respectful. She is always ready to learn and strives to do her best. Her teacher can count on her to include everyone, participate in class, and follow directions. Kyra's sweet nature, beautiful smile, and daily hugs bring so much joy to her class. Her hard work, passion for learning, and desire to do well is the perfect combination for success. Mrs. Marquith said, "You continue to impress me each and every day. I am so proud of you." Kyra stated, "School helps you learn and get better at things. It is important to listen and follow the rules. My favorite part about school is when everyone is working together to get something done. Congratulations and thank you, Kyra." Jamison Yates. Is the son of Kirsten and Timothy Yates, and he is a second grade student in Mrs. Trazik's class. Jamison is a very artistic student. He never ceases to amaze everyone around him with his wit, creativity, and intelligence. Jamison was chosen as a stellar student because he has a heart of gold. He works very hard and always gives his very best. Jamison is smart and reads situations well. He always makes sure to encourage and compliment others. Mrs. Trazik feels Jamison is amazing. Jamison said, "School is important because I can learn a lot and use my skills. A great second grader always tries their best. Congratulations and thank you, Jamison." Finally, we have our Otis Stellar students. Cade Bulger. Is the son of Kyla Kress, and he is a second grade student in Mrs. Wendling's class. Cade is a super busy young man. He plays the drums in a band with his grandpa and performs live at events. Cade also is a huge basketball fan and was a finalist for junior reporter for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is part of his school's news crew. Cade was chosen as a stellar student because he is such a well-rounded young man. He is smart, talented, humble, grateful, and very appreciative. Cade strives to do and be his best daily. He is always willing to help and encourage everyone. Mrs. Wendling asked him what he thought made him a stellar student. He struggled to answer because he isn't one to accept accolades. Finally, Cade replied, "I guess I'm a stellar student because I work hard, get good grades, appreciate things, and want to learn. Congratulations and thank you, Cade." Zoe Hetrick. Is the daughter of Jason and Amanda Hetrick, and she is a second grade student in Miss Vanderveen's class. Zoe enjoys playing soccer. She also likes playing with friends and swimming. Zoe was chosen as a stellar student because she is such a hard worker in class. She is very determined and works hard to meet her goals. Zoe is kind-hearted and helpful to others. She is a great role model in class. Miss Vanderveen shared a quote about Zoe. "Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Congratulations and thank you, Zoe." Aria Wuki. Is the daughter of Brian and Jacob Wuki, and she is a second grade student in Tia Price's class. Aria enjoys playing with friends, participating in gymnastics, and going to church. She also enjoys playing with her rabbit Snowball. Aria was chosen as a stellar student because she is an amazing young lady. She cares deeply about everyone in her classroom. Aria takes the time out of her day to help others in the classroom, out at recess, in the hallway, and even during lunch. She goes out of her way to show others how much she cares for them, even her teacher. Aria wants to make the world a better place and to help more people follow God. Congratulations and thank you, Aria.
Starting to see heads pop up over. You can see the heads.
All right, we will start with Atkinson Elementary. First up, we have Haley Berger. Haley is the daughter of Anicia Berger. She's a third grade student in Mrs. Davlin's class. Haley participates in ballet and tap at Fremont Ballet School. Haley was chosen as a stellar student because she comes to school every day, excited to learn new things. She always pays attention in class and gives her best effort on assignments. Haley is kind, helpful, and considerate to her peers and her teachers. Her smile and positive energy are appreciated each and every day. Haley stated, "The best thing about coming to school is seeing all of my friends and learning new things. I really like doing math problems." Congratulations and thank you, Haley. Chloe Sykes. Chloe is the daughter of Mallory and Brett Sykes. She's a third grade student in Stacy Lowry's class. Chloe enjoys playing basketball and soccer, and she also likes playing with her little brother and her friends. Chloe's favorite hobby is painting. Chloe was chosen as a stellar student because she is a role model in and out of the classroom. She strives to achieve good grades and is always helpful to anyone that needs help. She is very kind. Chloe is always smiling and brings joy to our classroom. Chloe stated, "You can do anything. Just believe in yourself." Congratulations, Chloe. That's great advice. Next, we have Aiden Mashari. Aiden is the son of Brenda and David Mashari and is a third grade student in Mrs. Hannadell's class. Aiden's favorite thing to do is spend time with his family. He loves to play board games, read, and play soccer. Aiden was chosen as a stellar student because he goes above and beyond in class. He participates and adds to class discussions. Aiden has a growth mindset and corrects assignments to improve upon his own understanding without being asked. He is kind. Aiden is always thinking of others and how to help them. Mrs. Hanudel feels privileged to have Aiden in class. His work ethic and positive attitude are contagious. Congratulations and thank you, Aiden. Next, we have Evelyn Edmonds. Evelyn is the daughter of Candace and Andy Edmonds and is a third grade student in Mr. Nicholas Maley's class. Evelyn likes to watch TV, and one of her favorite programs is Captain Underpants. She also likes to play soccer and Foursquare, and she likes to play basketball and just hanging out with her friends. Evelyn was chosen as a stellar student because she is an absolute blessing to have in class. Her nickname in the classroom is Sunshine. She's called Sunshine because her presence in the classroom lights up the room. Evelyn is caring, a fantastic leader, friendly, and a positive influence on others. When Evelyn was asked how students can be successful, she replied, "Always try your best and actually listen to the teacher." Congratulations and thank you, Evelyn. Araya Milton. Araya is the daughter of Christina Henry and is a third grade student in Amelia Lewis's class. Araya likes to draw, and she also likes spending time playing soccer and Uno. Araya enjoys watching football, especially the Browns and Ohio State, and she has fun spending time with her mom and her sister. Araya was chosen as a stellar student because she always has a positive attitude at school. She cares about how others are feeling and wants to help. Araya stated, "To be a good student means to practice until it's right." Congratulations and thank you, Araya. Ivan Jenkins. He is the son of Janelle Marino and Ryan Jenkins and is a third grade student in Mrs. Anstead's class. He enjoys playing baseball and football, and he also likes playing on his new Xbox. Ivan was chosen as a stellar student because he always comes to school ready to learn. He works hard and does what is asked of him without any complaints. He is kind to others and definitely a positive role model for his peers. When asked what he likes about school, he responded, "I like to learn because I like math." Congratulations and thank you. Landon Lejeune. Landon is the son of Brittany and Pete Lejeune and is a third grade student in Miss Morris's classroom. Landon loves sports. He plays for the Hitman travel baseball team, and he also enjoys basketball and football. Landon also likes learning and reading about new facts on the computer. Landon was chosen as a stellar student because he is an all-around great young man. He loves to be challenged. Even when schoolwork gets hard, he still shows up with a smile on his face and is willing to learn as well as improve. On top of being a great student, Landon is a kind friend to others and encourages everyone around him. Ms. Morris feels blessed to have Landon in class. Landon says, "Never back down and never give up." Congratulations and thank you, Landon. Next, we have Lily Reynolds. Lily's the daughter of Abby and Greg Reynolds and is a third grade student in Mindy Hensel's class. Lily is a well-rounded young lady. She loves Jesus. She loves going to church with her family. She is active in ballet and gymnastics, spending several nights a week excelling in this art. She also has a passion for horses, both riding and learning about them. She loves Taylor Swift and can name many of her songs and albums. Lily loves her friends and family, and she is quite proud of her new role as a big sister. Lily was chosen as a stellar student because she is a caring and compassionate person. She is a student who can be trusted and counted on. Lily comes to school happy to see her friends and wearing the best smile. She strives to learn and to do her best each day. She approaches learning with a positive attitude, and Mrs. Hensel feels grateful and blessed to have Lily in her class this year. Lily says, "Life is important because God created you. School is important because you get smarter and you can accomplish hard things. You should be kind to your friends and all the people around you." That is great advice, Lily. Congratulations and thank you. Next, we have Adriana Colon. Adriana is the daughter of Shayla Brown and is a third grade student in Mrs. Courtney Jared's class. Adriana likes to play soccer, play with her brothers and sister, and play games with her family. She is also part of the Otis News crew. Adriana was chosen as a stellar student because she is one of the most caring and genuine students her teacher has had in her 24 years of teaching. She is definitely a mini teacher. Adriana enjoys helping her classmates to succeed. Whether it is checking on others' homework completion or checking on how other students are feeling, Adriana cares about everyone. The best part is her classmates' love for it. On top of her caring personality, Adriana is a top student. She puts effort and thought into everything she does and truly excels. Mrs. Jared feels it is a pleasure being Adriana's teacher. Adriana says, "I love school so much this year. I love helping my friends in the classroom and hanging out with my teacher, Mrs. Jared." Congratulations and thank you, Adriana. Next up, we have Piper Floriana. Piper is the daughter of Jamie Booney and Derek Floriana and is a third grade student in Heather Hetrick's class. Piper enjoys playing volleyball at the Fremont Recreation Center, and she also likes going to the park and swimming in the pool during the summer. Piper was chosen as a stellar student because she joined the Otis family at the start of the second quarter and has worked very hard to adjust to a new school. She displays determination to achieve all her academic goals, and she doesn't give up. Piper is very kind to all of her new classmates and very respectful to all of the adults. She sets a wonderful example of what it means to be an Otis Cardinal. Piper encourages everyone to never give up because it will get easier the harder you work. Congratulations and thank you, Piper. McKenna Johnson. McKenna is the daughter of Stephanie and Brett Johnson and is a third grade student in Mrs. Husky's class. McKenna enjoys reading, cooking, drawing, and of course, shopping. She also enjoys when she gets to babysit her cousin. She's involved in volleyball, softball, and swim, and McKenna hopes to one day get into diving. McKenna was chosen as a stellar student because she is a very hard worker in class. She always tries her best and doesn't give up when things get tough. McKenna is always willing to help her teachers and fellow students anytime that they need help. McKenna says, "Education is important to me because you learn math, reading, writing, science, and social studies that will help you through your life and teach you how to make good choices. No one can take your learning away from you." Congratulations and thank you, McKenna. That is all of our third graders.
All right, anybody else? All right, how about a round of applause for our third graders? Well done, you guys. Congratulations, guys. Have a seat. Thank you so much. We're so proud of you. Board members, anything for our crowd this evening? Anything? Anyone want to say anything?
I'll say something
Atta
real quick. Well, I was actually writing some notes as all the kids were coming up here and getting their awards. So I hope you kids realize that you have a lot of people in this room that really love you. You have your parents, you have your classmates, you have your teachers that work extra hard to take care of you and teach you. And you have your principals that run your building day in and day out and make sure you all are safe. And I know you're young and you probably don't realize that right now, but that's all so important. And someday you guys will realize that. So that was something I noticed, and I just want the kids, your life is so quick, but it's not so quick. It's kind of weird. It's going to seem like it goes quick, but yet it's going to seem like it took so long to get there. And I know they don't understand that neither right now, but you guys are saying such nice things. You guys had your awards for the nice things that you do. And my suggestion to you and my advice is be the leader. You're going to go through life. Be the leader. Be the one that people, they look up to you because you're going to help them along the way. Be the leader. Be the example. Be the example to your classmates. Anybody that you meet along the way, you're going to meet all kinds of new people. Be the leader. Be the example. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions. You have to ask questions because you have to learn. And learning is going to take you so far in life. It really is. So don't ever be afraid to ask questions. Make the best out of any situation that you're in. You're going to be in some really hard pickles in your life. You're going to be in some situations you don't want to be in the middle of. Young, middle-aged, older, you're going to be in the middle of them. Make the best out of the situation that you're in, and just think positive and, try and figure out the best solutions for what you're in. The last thing I have to say is just learn to be an excellent person. Being an excellent person does not mean that you're perfect. None of us are perfect. You're never gonna be perfect. Being an excellent person means that you're being the best version of yourself every day when you wake up. You're gonna have days where, man, yesterday I did this and I probably shouldn't have did that, or you might wake up some mornings and be bothered. But being an excellent person means that you're learning from that, and that day you're not going to do that. You're going to be a better person, and you might even have to apologize to somebody along the way, but you know what? That's going to make you a better person. Okay? It's all about learning. So that's my advice to you, and I think, take that advice. That's going to take you a long way in life. It's going to open up doors that you've never seen before. And, when people remember you, they're always going to remember how you treated them and how you made them feel. That's important stuff. So you always want to make somebody feel good and just let them know their worth. Okay, kids, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everybody out here, and be proud of yourself. I hope you are.
Anybody else? Ms. Lewis?
Just to kind of echo some of the things that Ms. Laura said, congratulations to all the award recipients tonight, and thank you to all of the families for taking the time and the energy and the effort that it takes to create stellar students. Thank you to the administrators and the teachers for pouring into our kiddos day in and day out. Our children are so full of life and positive energy, as you heard, this evening when it said such and such said. And those things are really impactful when you hear those from a child, the positivity and the great outlook. It's our job as the adults in the room to and in the community to cultivate that in them and give them a world and a space where they can do just that. They can be positive, and have that wonderful outlook and watch it come to fruition. So I guess the last thing I would just say is just choose kindness when you're out in the world and spread love and just cultivate and keep that type of environment for our kids to grow and to learn in.
I just want to congratulate all the kids that are here tonight, the stellar students. I think it's really neat to see all the parents here and the teachers and the administrators, supporting all of our Fremont kids. That's all I had.
Thank you, Don. You done? Laura, anything?
Well, congratulations to all of you. And it's amazing and an awesome job. And all the kind things that have been said and the things that you've said are just, I don't know, they don't even sound like little kids. They sound like they're more adults. And congratulations to the parents, because the kids wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for all of you. And you've all stepped up and are right there for them. So congratulations.
All right, our little giant hearts are all pumped up now, right? We're going to continue with our board meeting, and if I were you, I would run for the hills. I don't mean that exactly. But if you would rather not stay, this is your chance to skedaddle. Thank you so much, folks. You make a difference. Thank you so much.
As soon as we get back, I'll just go up to the word.
I did. Yeah.
No.
I thought you would appreciate it.
Yes.
I hope I didn't speak too long. There's never a. All right. Good. All right. I like it. Yeah, I
We
know.
can safely say the meeting peaked, right? It's all downhill.
Now the only one that'll be back there is Corey.
Yeah,
They be happy.
or Corey. That's
Back to our normal audience.
right.
Like you. I wrote.
Oh, Denise is staying.
Denise will be here too. So
I was gonna say this. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was kind of hoping. That we could save this one.
Almost need sunglasses up here.
great.
It's warm. And Tia. And Lori. And trying to pick out the ones I knew. Yeah, my kids had those.
Some of those old teachers from COVID.
I know. It was such a great school. I mean, it's a good school now, but the teachers, it's just different.
I feel like I'm in a tanning bed. I'll be nice and glazed over when I leave. We said we feel like we're in a tanning bed. We feel like we're in a tanning bed.
Those lights.
It's all right.
It's
though.
all right.
We're just messing around.
All right, we good to go ahead and continue?
Yeah, let's go.
I tried.
All right, so we'll go ahead and continue. So we're going to move back up in our agenda. So back to legislative report.
I have several items this evening that I wanted to just mention that are going on. A lot of this that I want to mention is through the Ohio School Board Association, their link that provides, it's called The Link, and it's provided various information about what's going on in our legislature throughout Ohio. The first item that I wanted to address was I had asked Superintendent Detweiler to send out some information about the Fair School Funding Plan. My understanding is someone did present to the board in the past about this. I'm not sure how long ago that was. It's right now, I think it's very critical that we as a board and individuals are taking the advocacy role of supporting our public education system. And wanted to read just one or two quick items here. The Fair School Funding Plan brought about clarity, objectivity, and needs assessment, needs-based funding concepts to school funding in Ohio, along with the state's largest ever projected investment increase in public education. With that, Fair School Funding Plan incorporated as a nonprofit to support and advocate for the plan. And one other item that this plan was, and most of this is, you have all read this, but this is mostly for the public that might be watching this evening. The Fair School Funding Plan was created by a work group consisting of Ohio public school superintendents and treasurers to provide fair, transparent, and needs-based K through 12 public school funding in Ohio. And this was adopted by the Ohio General Assembly and incorporated into the fiscal year 2022, 3, 4, and 5 state budgets, and brings, again, clarity and objectivity and fairness in Ohio's public school funding formula. I guess what since this was sent out, I don't know if anybody had any comments about this from the past at all, or the information. If none, I guess what I would be asking is if the board would support becoming a member of the Fair School Funding Plan, and then this would be put on the agenda at a future meeting. And just for information, the way they have structured this is it's basically 30 cents per pupil, which for our district would be just over $1,000. And I think it's, for advocacy purposes, I think it's something that we should consider. Does anybody have an objection to putting it on the agenda in the future?
No.
If none, would could we look at doing that? then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just wanted to mention a couple other areas. The Department of Education Workforce has the following, has a list of proposed rules that are open for public comment. And if you're interested in that, you could go to the Ohio School Board Association website and be able to follow along to make, define the information to make comments on that. The following item came out regarding the governor's school bus safety work group that released their recommendations for improving school bus safety in Ohio. As I read through this, what I guess I realized is they have about 4 or 5 different recommendations, actually 6, that really are things I think that we are already doing. And fortunately, they're not unfunded mandates at this point in time. Basically, it just really does a lot more in terms of talking about bus driver education and different training, also with training of our students and doing a safety orientation program with our students. Is that something that is done now?
Yes, we already have something like that every fall. Kids go through exit training, and I know elementary K-5, they also do a lot of bus safety as part of their health curriculum as well.
Okay. The one area that they did not make a recommendation on was regards to seatbelt usage. And I found the explanation or excuse being that Ohio is a local control state. And so I think sometimes the state chooses when they want to put it back on the state or on our local government entities such as our school board. And then there's other times when they want to say, this is the way you do it. And I think with the seatbelt discussion, Mr. Detweiler, can you tell us, has there been discussion about this before?
Actually, it's been ongoing conversation. That topic's been hot for a long time. Even when I got my own bus driving license, I remember that being an issue. I think it's interesting to note, Don, one of the drivers that was in one of those horrible accidents this fall actually met with the committee and recommended that they don't have seatbelts because the idea of trying to get kids out quickly, especially if some child is incapacitated, and if the bus is upside down, it just becomes a real challenge. So it's one of those things you just have to be careful what you ask for almost. But yeah, and along those other lines, I have planning a bus safety meeting just with my internal folks to kind of look at those recommendations and bring something back to the board to see. Like you said, we are fortunately able to do a lot of those things like cameras and stop signs, and some of the things we put on our buses already when we order them are a part of those recommendations that aren't mandated by law, but are things we already are doing. So there's not a lot on there that jumps out to me that we're missing.
Right, right. Yeah, that was kind of what I had looked at with that. And then going along with what you had mentioned about the bus driver speaking, I see where they are looking at doing a dedicating part of Interstate 70 to the Tuscarawas Valley Memorial Highway for kind of in honor of the students and staff that lost their lives in that terrible accident last fall.
Yeah.
And the only other thing that I guess I saw that was going on legislatively was ongoing effort to reevaluate our property tax system in Ohio. But we also see discussion where they're talking also about our income tax system. And the only thing I have, I think, it's not bad to look at those systems. What's scary to me is that we don't take it that if there's a decrease in those taxes in one system, taxes in another system will come up because we do have to provide education. We do have to do things like provide our quality roads that we have in Ohio and facilities. And so, so it's good to look at those systems, but at the same time, there's definitely some issues with how that translates. And that's all I have for my long-winded legislative report.
Thank you, Don. No walk-on items tonight?
No, sir.
Okay, moving on to the community section. There isn't anyone here except for employees of the school district, so we'll just move on for there. So back to recommendations of the superintendent.
All right, thank you very much. I just enjoy that process right there so much. Just amazing. Those families are just doing such an amazing job with those kids. Some of those kids, what the things they say could be slogans and posters. I mean, it's just fabulous stuff. It's tremendous. So, but no, I will continue on, Mr. Price, if that's all right.
Yep.
All right, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to facilities and operations. Item 1, we've got some donations. We have Faith Lutheran Church donated some markers. They've been a very loyal partner with Atkinson. And then Bentley, Lindsay, and family donated a book to Otis. With your permission, we'll accept those generous donations.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve item 1, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Lehman?
Yes.
Mr. Nally?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Folks, on the item 2, 3, and 4 are some policies that just some very small tweaks. The first two was simply a one-word change, and it removed the word academic from some home education language because that has changed a little bit. What it requires to do home ed now takes less, say, cooperation or less interaction with public school. I used to get a plan, I used to get curriculum, I used to get, a teacher signed off on it. All that's kind of done now. They can just really very simply declare they're doing homeschooling. So they adopted item 2 and 3 to relate to that. And then item 4 was our pending marijuana change laws in Ohio were in conflict with item 4. So some simple one-word changes really in those 3 items with your approval this evening.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve items 2 through 4, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally?
Yes.
Ms. Lehman?
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Item 5, always a lot of fun to have exchange students. So Hala is joining us from Jordan with your approval. She is staying with a family of Tim and Mindy Brown.
Can I have a motion to approve item 5, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lewis. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom?
Yes.
Ms. Lehman?
Yes.
Mr. Nally?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Item 6, we have a few additional early graduates. You remember a couple weeks ago, we approved a pretty healthy list, maybe 15 or 20 kids. These students have also accomplished that, and we're very proud of them. It's Lorenzo Theobald, Cameron Long, and Chase Schaefer will be early graduates with your permission.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve item 6, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Moving into a few staff items. First, resignations, Kendra Provard as custodian. Then certified staff substitutes there at the bottom of the page, Grace Inman and Susan Kozakowski. Top of the next page, we have Lisa Sims as a bus driver, and then a few more certified substitutes for the staff, classified staff subs, William Barber, Grace Inman, Ethan McClory, and Haley Perez. Item 9 are some supplemental contracts. You'll recognize some spring activities there as we get into our spring theater performance and track. Item 10, some more supplemental duty positions. Turn the page. Top is the three there, Allison Hoops, Kylie Mears, and Kyle Spriggs, also theater and spring sports. Item 11, special event workers, Joshua Fate and Pride Yost. That is actually for an outside group that is using our pool. So that's what that's about. Item 12, I'm sorry, so explaining that. It said rental because we pay and then we get reimbursed through the rental process. So that's how that process works. Item 12, special event workers for winter tournament. You see our helpers there to help make that tournament happen. Item 13, some status changes. There's several of those, 3 on page 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more on page 7, all with extended education. Those are our personnel items for this evening.
All right, can I have a motion to approve items 7 through 13, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion?
Just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
The item number 11, the $250, is
Yes.
that a per event
Yes.
item?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I think those are big tournaments. I don't know how big, Don, but they're, if not all day, it might be 2 days. I mean, it's a pretty significant amount of time.
All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 14, we'd like to send Mandy Miller to a conference to stay up on her EMIS. That's an ever-changing job, and if you don't know what EMIS is, you're lucky. It's just a very complicated system that keeps it really all of everything coded and matched up, and testing runs through that, finances run through that, enrollment runs through that. Everything we do that's reported to the state at some point is touched by EMIS. So you can imagine that as that changes, it's really important to keep her up to speed. So Mandy is tremendous at that job, and we'd appreciate your support in keeping her trained.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve item 14, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lewis. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nally. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Item 15, we'd like to celebrate National Counseling Week with your approval.
Can I get a motion to approve item 15, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nally. Any discussion?
Just so you know, we did send certificates out. Even Sloopy, our therapy dog, got a certificate. You may have seen his picture on our social media page. Our counselors just don't get enough credit for what they do. They've kept this whole student body going at times. They're just a tremendous group, truly care for our students. We just couldn't say enough about them.
Hey, going along with that, I guess the old thought of what a counselor does in terms of just helping with classes, or that role has expanded so greatly over the years. And can you mention a couple of the areas where the guidance counselors touch now?
Oh my gosh! Well, by grade level, you can imagine. A senior counselor, I think, has a tremendous pressure to make sure scholarships are handled properly, eligibility for college sports. I mean, some of those things through the high school are tremendous. I mean, you pick a grade level and you can almost just pinpoint what that group needs. As you get down in lower grades, it's usually just coping skills and mental health issues and and tough conversations with parents, with kids with issues. And, one thing we do also, if a child is suspended out of school or has issues out of school, one of the things that they have to do is see a counselor as they come back in. Just help them reacclimate, make sure that they're okay, and make sure they've got a safe place to go. And it's just a lot to make sure kids have what they need. And you can't pick up a newspaper without reading about mental health needs and conditions in our country, and that's hit our counselors the hardest, of course.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Certainly, a pleasure.
All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. And item 16, another special time for us every year is to celebrate Black History Month. You'll start seeing a lot of activities and pictures, and hopefully I can get you some invitations to some activities that we're doing to celebrate that. Some very exciting things planned for Black History Month with your approval.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve item 16, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lewis. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Item 17, my returning board members recognize this. We've done this now for as long as I can remember, I think. But every year, the state gives us an option to allow our third graders to take their state test on paper instead of on a device. Now, every year, we ask the principals, okay, how are we doing? Is that still what you want? And they have continued to say yes. Now, I'd say this year, though, more than ever, and Denise and I talked about this a little bit, we have more devices one-for-one. We're working our way down, right? We started high school, middle school was one-to-one, right, fully? And now we're working our way down elementary, one-to-one device. So there may be that point, that tipping point, when we've got enough exposure for our students that we feel confident that their ability on the device doesn't keep them from showing their true ability with their testing. So, but for right now, we still believe that taking that test on paper is still the best path for our third graders. So if anybody asks, that's what that's about.
All right, can I get a motion to approve item 17, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion?
Just so I might add that it's not a slam dunk with districts. I saw a survey of other districts that do or don't, and it was about 50-50 that do devices or do paper. So it's a conversation we'll continue to have.
I remember when I first got on the board, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever because you're taking a third grade reading guarantee test on a computer. And I remember OSBA had a thing, we were down at the state capitol building, and that was one of the questions that was brought up, and they had some of our legislators there at our lunch that they had for us and stuff. And they said, we get kickback, why is that? And a lot of us said, because it's a reading test on the computer for a third grader. And they said, well, they're used to being on a computer or playing video games. And somebody said, handling a controller this way is so different than maneuvering through pages of reading something and comprehending and then having to go and answer those questions. Why would you not have it on paper? But the state just immediately from the very get-go, it was on computer. No questions asked. And then finally, there was enough kickback where they allowed paper. But I'm like, oh, this is pure education at its finest, I guess, by the state. But oh well. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. All right, moving on to report of the treasurer.
Good evening. In preparation for me having to speak at the next meeting more so than regular, thank you, Mrs. Hurt. On
Wait,
policies.
are you our workshop next week?
Yes, I know you're all excited.
Next.
I
We're
am.
bringing the popcorn.
Yes,
right.
that's right. It'll be amazing. I don't have very much tonight. Just to give you a quick update on my office, there's currently 3 of us, and we're working. It might not be the funnest atmosphere right now, but we try our best. The 3 of us are chugging along, and we've had a lot of great applicants come in, and we're really excited to go through that interview process the next couple weeks.
How many
And
applications did you?
There is some overlapping, but it was about 22 per position, which was very exciting for us. It started very low. I think we had 4 per position, but we had a couple advertising techniques that really worked out for us, and we ended up with really good applicants. I was really excited for the pool of applicants that we got for these positions. So,
Like, you need to know that in this post-COVID world, that 22 applicants for each position is not a such thing. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful to hear.
yes, we were very excited by that when it came in down. We were like, and there are a lot of good applicants too. So
Nice.
we're very excited for that. So that's all I have for tonight.
You had sent out an email that talked about the kiosk. What, I have not had an opportunity to dig into that to see what, can you tell us a little bit about what the kiosk is?
So the kiosk is part of our state software package that houses W-2s, direct deposit notices, and your our employees' leave balances, sick time, personal time, and vacation if they have that. That's something that they can log into at any time and see what their balances are. If they need a direct deposit printed off, I'm pretty sure it goes back to at least 2015, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 2016. There's some cutoff right there. So if somebody needs pay stubs from way back there or way back then, we'll direct them, the employees, to the kiosk to be able to print those off. And then the same with W-2s. It also has quite a few back. So it's a good thing for our employees to be able to access that information instantly. They can get it from home. They don't need to be on a district computer or anything like that.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
So no need for a roll call or a motion for anything, no
Nope.
recommendations tonight. So moving on to board member communications. Don?
Just real quick, the new board member training I attended, I thought it was a lot of good information. One of the things that jumped out at me was being a new board member. I think we have a lot of really good things going here. When I listen to some of the other new board members coming on around the state and some of the questions they were asking, like I said, I think we have a lot of good systems here. And I think the key thing is the relationships I think that we have and the comfort level of being able to work with our administration. And I guess, I follow that up with, this is the first time I've sat up here, on the stage area and just seeing the facility. And it just reminds me of the great facilities now that we have throughout our community. And I hope that the students and the parents and all of our community members really appreciate all of what we have. That's all I had.
Sarah?
Just kind of want to give a couple shout outs real quick. Shout out to the teachers that used part of their workday last Friday to reach out to parents, just to kind of give a little update of how their kiddos are doing. Overwhelming positive response to that. Just looking on Facebook where everything happens. But I saw so many parents just commenting on, I got a phone call, I got a text message, I got an email. Even I, as a parent, got an email from a teacher, and I just think those things shouldn't go unmentioned. And we really appreciate our teachers and appreciate that they took that extra time to reach out to parents. Also, I think something that sometimes maybe we definitely acknowledge, but maybe could make a bigger deal of, when our teachers take it upon themselves to continue their education, to expand themselves professionally, that has a huge impact on our students. The more education they get, the better off our kiddos are in the classroom. Excuse me. And that's where the new ideas come from, and the content base. So as I was looking, in tonight's agenda, just at all the teachers who took a bump up because of their education, I want to thank them for doing so. And that doesn't go unnoticed, and it's appreciated.
Sarah? Or Laura? Sorry. I'm looking right
all right.
there when I said that.
I'll say something short. I'm not going to talk like I just did. So I finally got to make it back to my first basketball game in quite a while, and I just really missed them. I always loved going to basketball games. It's the environment. It's the friends that you run into every time you're there. Even the parents of, well, I was a parent of a kid that doesn't play anymore, and I wasn't the only one that was there that had a child that used to play that doesn't have him anymore. But at any rate, it's always fun going back because it's just it's an environment that I miss. It's just so fun and full of electricity. And in my book, I know on the scoreboard, it matters I guess maybe for the district, who wins or loses. But for me, I'm proud of you kids. I'm proud that you're out there and you give it your all. And the boys did great. They played against Lorraine, and that Lorraine cheerleaders, boy, they were really stomping the ground out there. They were giving it their all. Not that our girls don't, but I'm just saying they're kind of, I don't know. Anyways, I just had fun in the environment, and I can't wait to start going to more games, not even just basketball. I'm going to go to a lot more different things, and we're going to start getting more involved like I really used to, and can't wait to start seeing more people in person and meeting more people. And it's one of my goals to do, but I want to do it anyways. And welcome to our new foreign exchange student. And thank you for the Brown family. I'm not sure who the Brown family is. I'd like to meet them along the way, but thank you for inviting them into your home, and welcome them to Fremont, Ohio. Hopefully everything goes well, and if you guys have any issues, just let us know.
Laura?
Well, congratulations to all those kids and their parents and the teachers for backing them and getting them to where they were at, where they are, and keep them going. Thank you for the legislative report, Don. All the donations and the new exchange student. It's neat to hear that we're getting those. We had some when I was in school, and we still keep in touch. So it's just really neat to see them. And all the early grads, congratulations on getting out and sooner than, and then come back for graduation and walk. And thank you to all the teachers, the staff, and the volunteers for giving your time at games and extra overtime curriculum, things that they take care of for us. That's it.
Congratulations to the students and parents again that were here. All the hard work that they put in to get where they are, for the teachers that are there to nominate them for a specific reason, for the teachers to see that every day. That I know that helps them out. So congratulations to them. Good luck to winter sports. It's starting to wind down. I can't believe tournament is almost here. That's crazy. So that's coming up quick. Spring sports are going to be starting. So busy time of year. Thank you for all the volunteers, all the staff that helps out extra through all these events throughout the year, for all the hard work that you guys put into all that. Thank you very much. With that, there's no reason for executive session. So could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
I had one other real quick, just want to make sure the public was aware that the superintendent search is now ongoing. If anybody has any questions, they can go to the school, to the website for Fremont City Schools, and there's information there. So I just wanted to mention that, and it was a good article in the paper talking about
Thank you.
Mr. Detweiler, and And he really said some nice things about himself.
Oh, yeah.
Made the front page.
Right.
That reporter has done a nice job trying to connect with the community, so.
Yeah.
He wrote up some nice things, as only John could tell him.
Right.
I'm sorry, thank you.
No, you're good. All right, so could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. Meeting is adjourned.